welcome back to another one. You're probably wondering what is better, the Firestick Max or the FireTV Cube. Now, we have to keep in mind the FireTV Cube has been around for maybe 2 years. We're going on to 3 years. And then I'm talking about the second gen. So I think 2019 is when it came out. The Firestick Cube or the Firestick TV Max came out in what was it, October 2021? So about a 2-year span difference. You're probably wondering what is better. What is better? Why is it better? So let's just knock this out of the way real quick. As far as the remotes, they both have your Alexa where you could speak to it. They have some shortcuts, some buttons that you could access some apps. So the remote is virtually the same. And now keep in mind, when it first came out, the second gen, it didn't have all these extra features. Now they do. Now they have those extra buttons on that remote. So the exact same remote as of right now for 2022. Now, when it comes to stick versus a box, the box is hands-free where you can just talk to it and that thing turns into a little speaker thing and you're good to go. Where the stick doesn't have that. However, the stick is much easier to travel with. You could just unplug that thing. It's really small and compact and off you go. Now, what about like what's in it? What is the actual specs here? So I wanted to show you guys this so you guys could actually see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, when it comes to this, as you can see, I did a video before. This is the 4K Firestick Max. Now, the device type is TV, manufacturer Amazon, model AFTKA. So that's the model. The board, device, Kara, hardware, MT8696. All of that stuff really doesn't matter because it's just names of what they're going to do. Now, what is important? Installed RAM. If you guys see it right there, it's actually right here. If you look straight across, installed RAM, it's going to be 2 gigs and free space is a little bit over 3 gigs, or I should say a little bit under 4 gigs of memory, of just storage to do whatever you need to do. Bluetooth version 4. Okay, now let's look at the FireCube. So here it is. If you need to pause it, that way if you need to compare the two, you can have a very, very good idea right there of what the two does. Here it is. 2 gigs RAM. So they're both the same. Total storage, total free space, I'm left with 10.5 gigs. So it's advertised as 16 gigs, and it does take about 4 point some. It's pretty good, 4.5 gigs. So you're left with a good amount of storage. Both have Bluetooth version 4. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit interesting here. This is actually where it gets very, very interesting here. So when you are running this is like the core architect. This is like your GPU, your CPU. This is stuff that you really don't care about as long as it works, but this is what's really important. This runs 6 cores. This is 6 cores. It runs a dual core of ARM Cortex A53, and it also runs a ARM Cortex A73. 64-bit on 32-bit mode. So it's pretty good. You can see how the performance are. Now, this is for the Cube. What is the Firestick? Now, here it is. ARM Cortex A55, and it is a quad core. So the stick runs 4, the Cube runs 6, and the stick is running A55. So, just keep that in mind. It's running it's in the middle of the other one, but the Cube is running 6 cores. It has A53 and it has the higher one. So as you can see, you can see where the Cube is pulling ahead right here. It's more power on the Cube, more storage on the Cube, same exact RAM. Okay, so for the Firestick, when you're looking at GPU, it is running the Imagination technology, Power VR Rogue, GE9215. As far as the Cube goes, the GPU is running ARM, and then the render is the Mali G52. So as you can see here with the stick, they're running more. Amazon likes to run their own stuff. So right here, the Mali G52, it's a good one. And with the stick, it looks like they're using more of their own internal stuff, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Now, of course, everybody wants to know, what are they running? So the Cube is running Android 9 and the stick is also running Android 9. Both of the devices are not rooted. Now, I did wish that the stick was running maybe, I don't know, Android 10, 11, anything higher than 9. And it has to do a lot with security patches. And some of these devices don't like it, but I do notice every time you go up to a different Android, it just runs a little smoother, a little crispier. So I wish they did do a newer version. Now, this is the codecs for the Fire TV Cube. So I'll let you go ahead and pause the video right here. That way you guys can see the comparison. As you can see, it has all the stuff here. The biggest thing that I look for when it comes to audio is if I could run surround sound. So when I see raw, I'm happy. And that's pretty much it on the Cube. That's pretty much it. I do not see, I don't see anything with Dolby surround sound at all. I see the raw, and that's it. Now for the stick, it's pretty much very similar. If you look at the list, it's actually smaller than the Cube. So very interesting here. So I'll let you pause the video. That way, if you guys are trying to compare the two, there you go. Now, when it comes to video, and by the way, I do like, and actually now that I'm looking at it for audio, the stick does have Dolby. You see the one that I'm highlighted right there at towards the top? It says omx.dolby.eac3 decoder. So it does have Dolby on the stick. I got to go back to the Cube now to make sure the Cube don't have it. And actually, you know what? The Cube does have it. Now that I look at it, it's the second to the top, way up there. Dolby AS3 AC3 decoder. So it's really good to see that one. You got the decoder, and it looks like it might be, you got AC3 and EAC3 Dolby. So that's actually really, really good to have. And I totally missed it when we were looking at it. I did see the raw, which again, I like, but as you can see, the Fire Cube does have a little bit more codecs than the stick does. Now, when it comes to video, you probably see it like literally right there, right underneath me. Can't even point to it. There it is right there. Dolby Vision, very important for some of you guys who really absolutely want it. Now, I'm just going to, again, just move it up here just a little bit. That way you guys can see what we have. So pause the video if you need to. You have two Dolby Visions at the top. You have your DVHE and DVAV. You also have your M-Logics, H.264, H.263, VP8, VP9s. You got all the really, really good stuff here when it comes to the video decoders. This is the stuff that's going to be coming into your screen. That way you guys could see it. Now for the stick, remember this was for the Cube. For the stick, here it is. It looks a lot smaller, a lot smaller. However, they have 3 Dolby Visions. You have your DVHE STN, DVHE STH, DVAV SER, plus your H.264. You got your Googles, everything that you need. It's interesting how the stick has very minimal stuff for your device, and that's to save storage. So I absolutely love that the stick is giving you what you need. It gives you all the 4K stuff. It gives you that much of 1080p. They're really trying to push you so that way you can get to that next level. And then when it comes to your Fire Cube, the Cube has everything that you'll need for high def, ultra high def. Your 1080p has everything in there, plus 4K and some 8K. With the stick, you basically have a little bit of 1080, a little bit of Ultra HD or FHD. You also got your 4K, plenty of 4K. And you have just that much, just a little bit of that 8K. It touches the 8K with that H.264. I love to see H.265 just because I know if it's proofing you for the future. Not many people have 8K TVs. It's very rare if somebody does anyway. So the stick is actually really, really good. Now the value, this is the biggest price difference. Your Firestick Max is $55. Your Cube is $120. When it's on sale, we've seen the Cube go down as low as $70, and we've seen the new 4K Max go as low as $35. For the value, that stick is really, really good. Just have the necessary apps that you need, and that's it. For the cube, if you're just like, well, I kind of have a lot of apps that I do use, then storage will definitely come in play, and that cube is perfect. Would I mod any of this? No, I would not. I would not buy a different extender on the Firestick to match what the cube is. I might as well just buy the cube. And you have to realize you might get a dongle, you might get some kind of USB, and you're probably going to spend anywhere from 20 bucks more and up. It really depends on what you want. If you want something like the very, very basics, then it is what it is. If you're trying to record any kind of like live TV or anything like that, then you're definitely going to want to get something that has the power. And the only thing that I would recommend at that point, if you want something that is going to record with no issues, you're probably going to be looking outside of Amazon products. They do have something called Recast, and they have other devices that you can do it. I'm not too familiar with the Recast. I haven't played with it enough to really give you guys a full scope of it. As far as I know, it works on their products and their stuff only. Yeah, if you want to say, hey, I love my cube, I don't want to get a shield, I'm just going to get a cube and get an external, and there you go. Cool. Then you could easily do that. You could easily do that on the Firestick. I wouldn't recommend it because the Firestick is supposed to be bare bones, bare minimum. They're supposed to give you as much as it can on a little stick. So just keep all that in mind. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you have a stick or do you have a cube? Are you interested in trying out the new Firestick Max, or are you waiting for the new Cube 3rd gen and you missed out on the 2nd gen? I did not like the 1st gen. I threw it back and I got a 2nd gen because one of my buddies said, hey, you need to look at the new one. It's much better. It runs smoother and it's just different. So I like the 2nd gen cube. I like this 4K Max a lot. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Leave me a comment below. As always, take care of each other. See you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.